Hello, football fans. Before I review Week 11, I have to talk about the development that's affecting Week 12, which starts tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. As you've heard, the Ravens Steelers game has been pushed back because of multiple positive tests on the Ravens franchise. The game will take place Sunday, 1:15 Eastern, 10:15 a.m. Pacific, and it will be on NBC because that was going to be NBC's Thanksgiving game, the main event, if you will, of a three game Thanksgiving Day. So as for the Steelers, they are still undefeated, 10-0. They dismantled the Jaguars, and now they're pretty much in control of that division. As for the Ravens, oh boy, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. A bad home overtime loss to the Titans has put them down to 6-4, and because Cleveland beat the Eagles, the Ravens are actually in third place in the AFC North with only the Bengals holding them up. And Bengals, oh my God, Joe Burrow, he's out for the year. Great rookie quarterback. He was doing things, even though the team was losing. He was doing things, and now he's out for the year because of that bad injury. Because he had no blocking, none. Of course, Washington went on to beat them. And Kansas City got their payback on Vegas and beat them. Of course, Vegas remains the only team to beat the Chiefs and the only team to intercept Mahomes. They intercepted him in the second game. But even so, those are the only two picks Mahomes has thrown this year. And in the NFC, oh boy, Packers. I've been over it, but it still sucks. Rodgers should have won that game. He had a great game as usual, and the people around him just screwed up. They did. The defense, the offensive line, even the coach had some McCarthy moments. And MVS's fumble was the last in the line of just missteps. And speaking of MVS, he is not like I said, he's not the only one to blame. And it sickened me to hear these stories about him, about what so-called Packers fans did to him. That's conduct of a Packers fan, okay? So we at Packers Nation don't condone that, but the thing is, the Packers suffered a heartbreaking loss to go to 7-3. Seattle started off the week by improving to 7-3 with a win over Arizona, another revenge game, obviously. And like I said, the Saints are number one because they took down Atlanta with Taysom Hill at quarterback. Taysom Hill scored twice. The NFC East, oh boy, what a fun division, isn't it? It's a mess. It's a complete mess. And Dallas actually won for the first time since the injury to Dak. I'm not counting the game against the Giants. That's the game he got injured in, and they just happened to go on and win it. But I'm talking about I was talking about the aftermath. They finally won and ended that long losing streak. They beat the Vikings, which makes us Packer fans giggle. So what we have in the NFC East is 3-6-1 leading the division with 3-7 teams right behind them. Oh boy, this division is gonna be fun, especially since none of these teams are gonna reach 7 wins. Oh my God! And I may do a separate video about the NFC East. I may, because I have to talk about this. I really do. And I know about the NFC East because my dad's a Cowboys fan. So yeah, this deserves a whole other video topic whatsoever. But I'm just still laughing about it. But and yes, Monday night. I have to talk about Monday night. Something else to laugh at because Brady screwed up again, and because of that, they lost at home to a hot Rams team who's now in first place in the NFC West. The Rams, oh boy, they seem to be on a mission. Who knows where that mission will take them, but they seem to be really focused. Because They seem to be for real now because the whole stigma was they hadn't beaten anybody of substance. At one point, they had five. They had 5 wins at one point, but 4 of them were against the NFC East, and the other one was against the Bears. So those are conference wins, but the NFC East. I mean, come on. And the Bears, they can't score on me. So they had to do something. They beat Seattle and they beat Tampa Bay back to back. So they seem to be for real. That fraud tag is dying off. We'll see if they can keep it up. We'll see if they can keep it up. And that's what happened. That's pretty much what took place in Week 11. And I was originally going to do separate videos regarding the playoff pictures, the state of each conference. But I'll bring up the standings now, and I have ESPN up, so I can give the play-by-play. Because Thanksgiving is not only a big holiday, it's a big holiday for all of us, especially this year with everything that's been going on. But that Thanksgiving holiday, I've definitely noticed as a football fan, that's the start of the playoff races intensifying and the numbers get thinned out. And of course, one already got thinned out. The Jets are out. I mentioned that before. JETS, just end the season. Well, it is. So the numbers start to get thinned out, and the playoff races get close and intense and just red hot. And here's how it looks entering what will be the final 6 weeks of the season, starting tomorrow. Okay. The Steelers, obviously number 1 in the conference at 10-0. The Chiefs are second at 9-1. The Bills, who were off last week, they stand at 7-3. They're actually one of 4 teams who stand at 7-3, but 2 of our division leaders. The Colts are 7-3 with that overtime win against us. The Titans, the Browns have the same record, and so do the Raiders. And I mentioned those 3 because remember, again, it's 7 playoff teams per conference now. It's not one of those pandemic-related playoff adjustments like in basketball and like in basketball, baseball, and hockey. This change was made before this pandemic hit. So this is the real deal. The Raiders hold the last playoff spot at 6-4, but the Ravens and Dolphins also 6-4. And that's pretty much where it ends because you have a whole bunch of teams 4-6, 4-6. New England's 4-6 because they lost to Houston. Denver's 4-6 because they beat Miami. And that's where it trails off. So those 9 are pretty much in the think. Those first 9 are pretty much in the thick of it. Now as for tiebreakers, Buffalo has a tiebreaker. Buffalo has a better conference record than Indy. Indy has head-to-head over the Titans because of that Thursday game about a week or so ago. They play each other again this week. Tennessee has a better conference record than Cleveland. That's why they have the tiebreaker over them. But Cleveland's in a good spot, number 6. They're 1 game ahead of the Raiders. And speaking of that, conference record puts the Raiders above the playoff line, while the Ravens and Dolphins are behind it. And that's something. The Ravens lost 2 games all of last year. They've doubled that win total already. The loss total, I mean. And as I said, the Jets are officially eliminated. They're the first team to be eliminated. Okay, now, the NFC. The NFC is a little more packed, as it always is. The Saints lead the conference at 8-2. The Rams and Packers tied at 7-3, but the Rams, all 7 of their wins are conference wins. That puts them over Green Bay. Philly goes without saying. They're in first place in the East. I'll leave it at that. The 3 wildcard positions are held by Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Arizona, and there's no ties in that. Now the Bears are the best team behind that playoff line at 5-5, and you have Minnesota, Detroit, and San Francisco all at 4-6. And I have to mention the NFC East teams because they're in it too. Really, the only team that has the only 2 teams, the only like 2 or 3 teams in this conference that don't have a shot in playoffs have a legitimate shot, and that would be Atlanta, Carolina, and I would think the Niners. But the 3-7 Giants, Washington, and Dallas, they have a shot at winning the division. 2020, ladies and gentlemen. And there's already a clinching scenario in the works here. We already got an elimination last week. We could get an official playoff team this week. The story is Pittsburgh can officially get in the playoffs with a win. I think I read it's a win. I think it's a win. A Dolphins loss, and a Vegas loss or tie. If the Dolphins tie, Vegas has to lose. If both Vegas and Miami tie, Pittsburgh doesn't clinch. But Pittsburgh can get in the playoffs this week. If they do clinch this week, it will be the earliest that any team has ever clinched a playoff spot, week 12. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going down. And as for week 12 schedule, of course, it's 2 Thanksgiving games because Pittsburgh and Baltimore has been moved back to Sunday. Houston, Detroit, and Washington, Dallas, which is on paper, but one of these teams could lead the division after this week at 4-7. Amazing. The Bills are back in action against the Chargers. Tennessee and Indy play each other. That's a very important game because if Indy wins, there's your tiebreaker. They'll sweep the Titans. Zona is in Foxborough playing the Patriots. Cleveland plays the 1-9 Jaguars. I mentioned Baltimore, Pittsburgh before. The Saints are in Denver. That doesn't make me feel confident as a Packers fan. The Rams host the Niners. That's always contentious. The game of the week, pretty much Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Mahomes versus Brady. It could be even more damaging for the Buccaneers because the Chiefs are no joke. The other NBC game, the Sunday night game, is Packers Bears, or as I call it, Christmas for the Packers defense. Oh my God! And of course, Monday night is Seattle and Philly. Seattle's going to blow them out. The game's in Philly. All that means is Russell's going to win by 14 instead of 30. And that's my review of Week 11. And Week 12 should be pretty fun. We'll see how that goes, and I'll review that next. Next week. So and I'll give any scenarios. I'll give news on any playoff scenarios too, if there are any, for Week 13. So with that, I say until next week, and have a happy and prosperous Thanksgiving.